Now let's take a look at how to design a template from scratch. So the very first thing that we're going to do is name it and save it. So let's name this one our test template. This is going to be an ID card, and I'd like this to be portrait oriented. Now let's make it landscape. And I'm going to save it just to make it easy for me to find later. And that's ready, so I'll save that. And now this menu will show up in my list of templates. Now here's how to get started, especially with an ID card and there's not much space to work with. Let's look at safety margins. And I'm okay making the safety margin a little bit less. So I can boost it down there. Now here's how we add, well, let's take a look at this first. Each ID card or certificate can be more than one side. If I wanted to add a side, I could hit this plus button. And now it's two-sided, and I can see which side I'm working on by clicking there. But before you go and make two-sided documents, remember that you might be limited in terms of your printing capacity. 9 times out of 10, maybe 99 times out of 100, your document will have only one side, so it's ready to print side 2. Now let's take a look at our different options for adding information to this document. Here are the 6 different field types that we can use. The 3 main types are here at the top. We have text, we have media, which is images, and we have shapes. So let's start by coming up with let's start by putting the student image on the card and we'll build around that. So I'll choose a media. I'm going to name this layer to be my picture. And I don't want this image to take up that much room, so I'm going to make sure it fits with an image. And conveniently, I can choose from any of my students in order to preview. So let's choose student sample. And then if I want to make this a student ID, I'm going to hit the equal sign and choose image. Your other options in terms of calling dynamic information, if I hit equal, I'll see them here. Group icons, school safety info if that's been assigned, and school logo. So let's start with the student image. So I'm going to put that, I want this to be on the left-hand side of the ID. Now I need the school name and the school year, so let's add that. Let's do the school name. It's a text field. I'm going to call it School 1 because I'd like to have Lion Pride bigger than elementary school. So School 1. I'm going to make that 2 inches wide and half an inch tall, probably plenty of room. And I'm going to call this in my text field. Remember, I can type it out if I wanted to. Or I can call it. So I hit the equal sign, and I'll choose school name. Now let's make this a nice fancy font. I always liked the condensed bold here, and let's make this bigger. And remember that all of our text, whether it's static or dynamic, is going to conform to the size of your zone given. So let's put this here for now. I think I want to move this image up on it too. Now I want to show my elementary school for that, so let's add a new text field. I'm going to call it School 2. Again, 2 by 5 inches. And I'm going to call my school name 2, and let's make this a smaller condensed font. live preview right there. Now the next thing that I want to do is put a school year on here. So let's put the school year as a text field. Call it here. I'm going to make this, I'm going to put this on the side of my student. So let's make this smaller. It can be 1 by 4 inches. I'm going to just type this in. So this is 2021-22 school year. Now this is too big, so let's make this size 10. And I'm going to rotate this. Let's put it at 90 degrees. And I'm going to put it right next to the image. So there it is. Let's save this.